Yashodanandana Brajanaranja Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada, Go, Brahmande, all glories to the simple devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the simple devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Gaur Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Saintly Son. Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu, text number 23-24. Shri Prahlad Vacha, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smarnam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakyam Atmani Vedanam, Iti Pumsarpito Vishnu, Bhakti Che Navalakshana, Diyeta Bhagavati Ada, Anmanne Ditam Uttamam. Translation and purport by doing this is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of Lord, offering Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering Lord one's best friend, and serving everything unto him. In other words, serving him with body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotion service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through this 9 methods should be understood to be most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Purport. We continue reading purport, very long purport. Swarna. After one regularly performs the process of hearing and chanting, and after the core of one's heart is cleansed, Smarna, remembering, is recommended. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Sudeva Goswami tells Parishit, Etan nirnityamananam ichatam akuto bhayam yoginam niparamitam harirnamanukirtanam. O King, for the great yogis who have completely renounced all material connections, for those who desire all material enjoyment, and for those who are self-satisfied by dint of trans-knowledge, constant chanting of the holy name of Lord is recommended. According to different relationships with Supreme Personal God, there are varieties of Namam, Kirtanam, chanting of the holy name, and thus according to different relationships and levels, there are 5 kinds of remembering. These are as follows: conducting research into the worship of a particular form of Lord, concentrating the mind on one subject, and withdrawing the mind's activities of thinking, feeling, and feeling from all other subjects. Concentrating upon a particular form of Lord, this is called meditation. Concentrating one's mind continuously on the form of Lord, this is called Dhruva Smriti or perfect meditation. And fifth, awakening a liking for concentration on a particular form, this is called Samadhi or trance. Mental concentration upon particular pastime of God is, in particular circumstances, called remembrance. Mental concentration upon particular pastimes of the Lord is, in particular circumstances, is also called remembrance. Therefore, samadhi trance can possibly find different ways in terms of one's relationship. Specifically, trance of devotees on the stage of neutrality is called mental concentration. Padasevan, according to one's taste and strength, hearing, chanting, and remembrance, may be followed by Padasevan, one obtains the perfection of remembering when one constantly thinks of lotus feet of Lord. Being intensely attached to thinking of Lord's lotus feet is called Padasevan. When one is particularly adherent to the process of Padasevan, this process gradually includes other processes such as seeing the form of Lord, touching the form of Lord, circumventing the form or temple of Lord, visiting such places as Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, and Mathura to see Lord's form, and bathing in Ganges or Yamuna. Bathing in Ganges and serving a pure Vaishnava are also known as Tadiya Upasana. This also Padasevana. The word Tadiya means in relationship with Lord. Service to Vaishnava, Tulsi, Ganges, and Yamuna are included in Padasevana. All these processes of Padasevana help one advance in spiritual life very quickly. Om Jnana
तस्य ज्ञानात् विष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं भूत्वा नामयं ददाति सर्वदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतावकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश साधुजातं सर्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं साधुतं परिजनास्तेकं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् विशाखादितांशं नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी चारिणी निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. Here we are seeing when Prahlad was asked what is the best education he has done. He said the best thing he has done is Shravanam, Kirtan, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandam, Dasyam, Sanam. It's a 9 process of devotion service. Vedika Sarva, Aham Veda. The purpose of education, knowledge is to know Krishna. And purpose of knowing Krishna is so that we can serve Krishna. So that we can have love for Krishna and then we can go back home, back to Krishna and continue loving devotional service. And we see Srila Prabhupada established this call for the same purpose to help people understand Krishna and engage in this 9 process of devotional service. We are discussing yesterday how Srila Prabhupada built a home in which whole world can live. This home is not just a material home, but a spiritual home. And the foundation of that spiritual home is individual and collective sadhana, beginning with hearing and chanting. We saw the flooring of the home is what is the flooring of the home?
Humble meaning service. Humble meaning service.
Flooring is humble meaning. Foundation is sadhana. Foundation is flooring. Flooring is what we are always in touch with. So humble meaning service attitude. Cheers or Krishna service attitude. And whatever service, happily fortunate, not thinking that once great opportunity. Doing service, this service attitude, doing service with gratitude. That is the glory. And then yesterday we were discussing about the walls. What are the walls? Loving relationship between bodies. So, if your foundation we have floor and we don't have walls, so naturally not come from. So that's sweet. Home is sweet home when there are loving exchanges between devotees. So yesterday we were discussing how people we are not getting people there should be in the 6 years we can develop loving exchanges. And we saw what spoils this loving exchanges. What spoils this loving exchanges? Mm, envy and material competition, unhealthy competition. What's that? What is spoils the this Kriti election is gossiping and criticizing. All these things also spoils. Next week,
Qualifying.
Care for fighting, especially arising out of envy. This was positive. So today we'll discuss about roof. So after the foundation is there, flooring is there, wall is there. What is another important aspect of house is roof. What is the purpose of roof?
Shelter.
Roof is shelter. So in home there has to be shelter. So it's a spiritual home. So one should get spiritual shelter. People are coming here, so they get shelter. And actually, in this world is a very difficult place. Mm. Well, there are so many uncertainties. So we never know what will happen next moment. Prahlad Maharaj himself says, in this world, the best doctor and best medicine cannot protect the patient. With best doctor and best medicine, also patient can die. Similarly, mother and father may not be able to protect child. In front of their eyes only, even child may die. Sometimes. Even if mother and father may want to protect, cannot protect. This world is a dangerous place. I remember one time in Kangasagar. When we were going boat, one small child somehow put his hand out and crocodile came and just pulled the child and caught hold of that hand and the mother was holding child and then blood started coming and the boat started filling. The boatman said, "Arey, either you have to give up the child, otherwise boat will topple." And she was forced to give it to that crocodile, took out the child. There was blood everywhere. In front of eyes was mother, the child was finished. She couldn't do anything. This world is a very dangerous place. One may have a very powerful boat, but boat cannot protect a drowning man. You see, Titanic. Yes. Subtitle of Titanic was the boat which even God cannot see. And it sank in the first voyage itself. So Brahma says, even parents cannot protect the children. Doctor, physician, and medicine cannot protect the disease. A boat also cannot protect. Only shelter in this world is Supreme Person, God, Krishna. There is no other real shelter. All other shelters are illusory shelter. So when one comes to the spiritual home, temple, one comes to take shelter of Krishna. And one receives shelter of Krishna by receiving shelter of Prabhupada or Acharya or receiving shelter of spiritual master, by receiving shelter of senior devotees, by receiving shelter of deities, by receiving shelter of proper books in which by receiving shelter especially in form of holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So, shelter is very important. When people feel shelter, they will be at home. They can continue their devotion service. So, it's very important that you have a great environment where people can receive shelter and, and when they feel shelter, they can also offer that shelter to others. So, we see devotee care systems are there so that when new person comes, they are trained how to take shelter when these people are given shelter. And so when receive shelter, mm, and shelter is not that only initial days we need. Shelter in the whole life. No matter how much advanced we become, need shelter. And it's important that whatever shelter we receive, we also offer that to others. So we help people. When new people come, we offer them shelter by helping them develop some of the abilities, how to develop proper relationship, help them by uh, understanding importance of can take sadhana sincerely, help them with doing swadhyaya, help them with proper training them in proper sadachar, and also help them with training how to do seva with the right consciousness for the of Krishna and devotees. So offering shelter means helping people with all these things. Mm, and giving them ongoing nourishment. It's not that one time when people come in the beginning, they receive some care, receive some training, receive something, and then afterwards, there's no. Actually, this ongoing support is required, and especially support is required during the process of anartha because this process of Krishna is the process of cleansing. Dosha tata sadhu san, tata bhajan kriya. And when one start doing bhajan kriya, what happens? All the impurities will start coming out. And if will start coming out, one may get, bewildered whether, I'm advancing or I'm degrading, And then people say, Prabhuji, before coming to Krishna, I was, I didn't have any material desires in my heart and I was so peaceful. Now I say, after I have started chanting, I'm singing that, there's so many material desires, so many bad thoughts coming in my mind. Just that, I'm getting, degraded in my life. So this process of Krishna cleansing process. Imagine the room is locked for 10 years. When you open the door, all dust and everything is settled, thick layer. You may not find, but when you start cleaning, immediately what happens? You start cleaning the room which is locked, closed for 10 years. What will happen? So much dust will start rising up. That dust will start going in eyes, nose, mouth, and then one may think maybe it was cleaner before, It has become, no, it's not becoming dirty. It's just that we are becoming aware and then cleansing. So especially during that time, one needs support, one needs help, one needs encouragement, one needs training, one needs guidance. And especially family guidance is very important. Family guidance is far more important than hours and hours and hours of guidance later on, So devotees are available, especially experienced devotees, senior devotees. So senior devotees, if they're always busy, you can it's wonderful, it's a good example that senior devotees are always busy. But it's important that senior devotees can be available so that juniors can come and speak to them. And juniors are trained, they are guided, they can do a lot of services, but they may not be able to give shelter and guidance. So as one becomes more and more senior, if they can delegate their services so that they can be available, so that anybody wants to talk, and in that way, that's really great support because senior devotees, because of their experience, they can give shelter and people can develop faith, confidence, all these things. So it's giving shelter and taking shelter is two ways of this. Person who is coming to temple, he should be willing to take shelter. Take shelter of Krishna, and shelter of Krishna comes through shelter of devotees and holy name. The subordinate or new person, he has to be trained how to take shelter. Krishna is telling how to take shelter. That will be only path there. Krishna is there. Unless one humbles himself, serves himself, acquires submissively, and especially render service, one will not find the shelter in real sense. Sometimes people come, they just for sake of knowledge, for sake of just arguing, debating. They may get some knowledge, they may argue, debate, but they will not find shelter. Real shelter will come and proper attitude. Really wanting to understand the truth, really wanting to accept the truth and live by the truth. And when a genuine motivation, then you need to have that humility, permissionless, yeah, honest enough to inquire, mm, and especially render service. Because when we render service, what we hear, that we will start understanding the importance of that. We start with realizations. So this is not just an intellectual exercise. So when on render service, then realizations will come. Whatever we are hearing, we will be able to understand it. So then, as juniors, we should be always eager to be sufficient, inquire, and render service. And superiors, they have to be willing to help. They may not be very well qualified scholars and pundits and all. There's no need of great material qualification, but most important thing is the superior should be willing to help. Superior should be accessible. So that someone can take shelter, can take help. And most important, superior should be trustworthy. Because if superior is trustworthy, then people will seek help, seek guidance. If the superior behavior is not proper, juniors may not feel comfortable to reveal their heart, may not feel comfortable to take help. But if superior is willing to help, is accessible, and especially if it's trustworthy, then this combination goes very nicely. So every individual is unique and different. And so there has to be personal care and personal guidance. So, and caring for devotees, most important is proper mood. Even if somebody is a spiritual master or counselor or senior, they need to have more than I'm servant. We do it as service. And we try as superiors should try to help them develop faith. Faith in Krishna, faith in Prabhupada, faith in spiritual master, faith in holy names, faith in Bhagavatam, faith in deities, faith in ISKCON, faith in devotees, faith in devotee community. So helping people to develop faith is the greatest contribution. Also, we can try to part of initiators, facilitate them, physical facilities like sadhana, accommodation, whatever, emotional support, spiritual care. And it's important that, and actually, it's very difficult to take care of a person just alone. To take care of people, it will require a community. Just like to take care of one child, whole village is required actually for proper growth. Similarly, to take care of one individual in the community. And different people can contribute in individuals' development in different ways. So, also, when in a community, people see that they are not being judged, they are not being labeled, they feel very comfortable. Everybody is coming from different background, so they may not be at spiritual standards, what are expected in the beginning. But if they are patiently trained, patiently heard, patiently helped, patiently encouraged, being judged, it's very things. And especially in giving shelter, there we should make sure that we don't make them into parasites. Help them to grow, help them to stand on their own feet, help them to take shelter of Krishna and Guru and devotees nicely. And in this world, because this world is material world and outside there is a lot of, it's very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. So we have to very, we should always try to give people hope in this world. Try to always encourage and try to see how there's some brighter side, how to bring out the brighter side. Heaven has both sides, bright side and dark side. So, expert guiding is trying to bring out the brighter side. And also, when I say here, I should not be trying to just engage them in personal service or knowing them only abuse them or use them for or too much control and all these things. So there has to be some kind of we should engage them with humble service in a way. They also feel happy and all this. They should not feel pushed too much and too much. And also, it's very important at different levels, different times we create different engagements for them. Engagement is very important because when there's proper services, through service also one can find shelter. And proper people are not properly engaged, then intimacy there is first. Engagement is very, very important. So you see, Shiva Prabhupada, he took care of devotees. At the same time, after some time, he started engaging them. After training and educating, engaging also. Prabhupada himself offers such shelter. He was deeply caring and loving personally. He used to personally cook, personally give time, and he was very practical. At one time, place, circumstances, he had devotees. And when moment became big, he understood he cannot do everything for everyone. So he involved his senior disciples and encouraged senior disciples. You take care of yes. In this way. Actually, we see that when people come, they should feel some sheltering atmosphere in them. And whatever shelter we feel, we should also give to others. In this way, both we receive shelter, we offer shelter. In this way, then. Happy, nourished, and lasting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So a conversation discussion can take some time, 2 minutes. So roof means shelter, be Krishna shelter. Various ways. Can become instrument and the Krishna to offer the shelter. We can give shelter to others when we ourselves take shelter. Have learned to take shelter. Ourselves have to offer this shelter. Thank you very much. It's 7:45, but this time. So we end here. All these things you already know. There's nothing new. But it's important to remind each other. And it's important that we struggle to live by it. One can resuscitate a Krishna by performing this 9 processes of devotions in association in environment like temple devotion practices. Thank you very much. कृष्ण भागवतम की जय,
जय।
भगवान की जय।
जय।
स्नेह बोल पूजा।
बोले